dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Caroline Mueller. New footage captured by an ICE agent is giving the public a new perspective of the deadly shooting of a woman in Minneapolis, Minnesota Wednesday. But there is still intense scrutiny over the incident and the investigation. Lee Waldman reports from Minneapolis with the latest.
Talk to us later.
Cell phone video captured by an Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent shows a different angle of the moments leading up to the deadly shooting of Renee Good in Minneapolis Wednesday.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
The Department of Homeland Security says the new footage confirms the officer was in fear of his own life, the lives of his fellow officers, and acted in self-defense. President Trump weighed in Friday afternoon.
You have agitators, and we will always be protecting ICE, and we're always going to be protecting our Border Patrol and our law enforcement.
The FBI is in charge of the probe, but state and local leaders are still asking to be involved with the investigation.
While I respect the FBI's process, our community's expectations are much different in terms of transparency. To that end, I cannot overstate the importance of a local investigation, or at least access to the federal investigation.
As the city of Minneapolis grapples with the events of this week and the ongoing immigration crackdown, the death of Good is fueling frustration in communities beyond Minnesota.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Advocacy groups say more than 1,000 demonstrations are scheduled this weekend across the country. In Minneapolis, I'm Lee Waldman.
A Pike County man accused of driving under the influence in a crash that killed a Magoffin County teen appeared in court today, pleading not guilty to his charges. Investigators with the Kentucky State Police say Keith Anderson was driving his car under the influence on October 6, 2024, when he crashed into a vehicle occupied by Kenny Oxshire and 17-year-old Kayla Elam. Elam died as a result of the crash and Oxshire was injured. Last month, Anderson was indicted for vehicular homicide, assault and DUI. And he appeared in Floyd County Circuit Court today, pleading not guilty. He is currently in the Floyd County Detention Center, but is expected to return to court later this month for a bond hearing. A fire seriously damaged a popular Eastern Kentucky restaurant. Frostiette owner Roger Collins says around 10:30 this morning he saw smoke coming from the restaurant. Frostiette has been open in Sand Gap since 1958, serving as a staple in Jackson County. Collins says he and his wife have been running the business for nearly 2 decades. He says now they plan to rebuild.
Yeah, we're going to try and move forward. That's all we can do. Good Lord will take care of us.
The fire destroyed the stove and damaged the building. Thankfully, nobody was inside at the time, and no injuries were reported.
It's a pleasant night across our area right now. As we take a look at our current temperatures, we're generally sitting in the 50s. 55 in Jackson, Hazard, Manchester, Harlan, 53 in London, 53 in Irvin. Cooler in Lexington at 48 degrees, 49 in Moorhead, 57 for Prestonsburg, and 56 in Pikeville right now. We take a look at the rest of tonight, and we're going to see more showers arrive as we get into the later part of the night tonight. Those temperatures falling down only really low to mid 50s for our lows, as we'll have winds out of the northeast. On a light note, we look at Saturday's forecast, and you can see overall we're going to have rain throughout the day. Temperatures climbing back up into the upper 50s to around 60 degrees, but on and off rain throughout the day. So it is going to be a damp one for us as we go into your Saturday. So weather headlines here is, a rainy Saturday, winter returning on Sunday, and then going to be a sunny and seasonal Monday across our area. Have your full forecast. That's coming up.
Thank you, Ben. Kentucky lawmakers could tackle a bill this session to change where you can apply for or renew a driver's license or personal identification card. It comes after complaints about the current system with the regional offices. House Bill 162 would return the practices of issuing licenses, including real IDs, to circuit clerks in every county. Kentucky transportation officials say circuit clerks asked them to take over the process in 2020, and they say last month wait times averaged just 11 minutes.
Although I do anticipate opposition and a negotiation process, I feel as though this legislation is a great starting point to have that conversation and to create a system that works for everyone.
There are currently 35 regional offices in Kentucky, and state officials say they are working to further improve the system. If made law, the bill would go into effect in July of next year. Today was the final day to file for the 2026 elections in Kentucky, and the field is now set in Kentucky's 5th Congressional District. London attorney Kevin Smith, a former GOP staffer, filed today to challenge longtime incumbent Congressman Hal Rogers in the Republican primary. Smith joins a race that also includes Benjamin Hurley and Jacob Trimble, who filed earlier and will face Rogers for the GOP nomination in May. On the Democratic side, Ned Pillersdorf has filed to run as the sole candidate in the Democratic primary. With filing now closed, candidates will campaign ahead of the primary election on May 19th, 2026, as the general election is set for November 3rd, 2026. A University of Kentucky law professor who was suspended over the summer won't be allowed to teach this spring. A federal judge made the ruling that Ramsey Woodcock's case yesterday. Woodcock was suspended after he created a website criticizing Israel and calling for military action. Woodcock sued UK, claiming they violated his First Amendment rights. In yesterday's ruling, a judge wrote that Woodcock wouldn't suffer any irreparable harm by not being allowed to teach. His lawsuit was also put on pause while UK continues their investigation. Woodcock disagrees with the choice and thinks the judge should have done something.
If the federal court doesn't intervene to say that what the university is doing is unconstitutional retaliation for speech, the university will be free to investigate me again, to conduct additional investigations, to continue to harass me, to continue to suspend me, to continue to ban me.
Professor Woodcock says he's going to be appealing the decision and says he stands by his position on Israel. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a new tool that promises to make home improvement safer and easier. Does Hurricane's magnetic hammer live up to the hype?